am I going to do? I make some craft with yarn. Hi guys, I'm Emma. Ugh, start again. Hi guys, I'm Emma and welcome to Art by Emma. So today I've got a strange assortment of things to be working with. I have a PVA glue. I have some lolly sticks, popsicle sticks. I have a bag of balloons and a balloon pump. And in addition to that, I have this, and it's maybe one of the cutest things I've ever seen. It's a bag of assorted colours of wool, and I'm going to be creating some stuff with these things and hoping to get some good results. So let's get started, shall we? So here's all the lovely colours of yarn I've got to choose from, and here are my lolly sticks, which I'm going to lash together in a cross shape. I've chosen the rainbow colours, obviously just the 6, as I've had purple to indicate indigo and violet. So I'm going to lash the 2 popsicle sticks together with my beginning yarn, my red yarn, just lashing them together. Thinking now I may have done better to glue them together. They might have formed a firmer scaffold for my weaving. So what I'm making here, or attempting to make, is called a God's Eye. And now a God's Eye is something that was created by an indigenous people of Mexico and the United States. And they would make decorative ceremonial shields with coloured yarns and sticks. And these shields were called God's Eyes because they thought that God might keep a watchful eye over the people who made them. So I'm working my way through all the different colours, red, orange, yellow, green, blue and purple. And what you do, I'll try to explain, is you take the yarn behind the stick that you're using and behind the next stick, wrap it over the top and back behind, and then onto the next one. There are many videos on the internet, on YouTube, that show this in great detail. I'm not the best of instructional videos, so yeah, give them a look and hopefully have a go yourself with it. So after finishing one colour and moving on to the next, I leave a small piece of yarn up the stick and wrap around the next colour to hold that one in place. Seems to be doing a good job so far. And there's my finished God's Eye. Well, I couldn't have done that again if I tried. And on to my next craft with yarn. For this one I'm gonna be making pom-poms. A fluffy heart pom-pom keyring is what I'm going to attempt to make, but you shall see. So firstly I've wrapped an amount of yarn around my fingers, and I'm going to take a smaller piece and tie that together tight in the middle. And after that's nice and secure, I'm going to trim that and cut the loops that are at either side of the pom-pom. It's looking a little lacklustre at the moment, but I'm ever hopeful. Because I'm going for a fluffy effect for this pom-pom, I'm going to brush the yarn out, separating the strands to try and get a fluffy effect, but I seem to just be pulling bits of string out and I end up with a ball of fuzz bigger than the pom-pom I'm actually trying to create. So in an attempt to rectify things, I'm re-securing my pom-pom strands together with a small elastic hair bubble and continuing to comb away to get a fluffy effect, but still it's shedding. It's beginning to look like a crazy pink poodle here. So So trying to fluff it up and floof it and make something good about it. And then I'm going to try and trim it into the shape of a heart. So here it is kind of looking like a heart shape, or the best it's going to get, and this is where I should have stopped. Stop, Emma, stop! So I continue cutting and floofing and cutting and just trying to make the best of a bad situation, really. Honestly, I thought my God's Eye was a disaster, but believe me, it's the best of a bad bunch. It gets worse. It gets really, really worse. To be fair, it's not looking too bad there lying on the desk. So I'm going to sew the keyring element to my pom-pom keyring onto the pom-pom, and there we have it. That's my my fluffy pom-pom keychain. Step away from the scissors now, Emma. Don't you pick up those scissors. So in a last ditched attempt to make something pretty out of this, I'm just tidying up those last few strands. Do you remember those gonk things we used to have as children? They're kind of like trolls that are today. This is what this is reminding me of now. So here's my gonk keyring. So swiftly on to the third and final project for this video. I'm going to attempt to make one of those lovely yarn balls that you see about. You can buy them in shops. They're quite expensive for what they are, so I thought I'd go for a little cheap version. So the first thing to do here is to get a balloon, blow it up, tie a knot in it, and this is going to act as a scaffolding for our yarn ball. So the next thing we need to do is get some water and PVA glue and mix them together into a solution, much like that you would use for paper mache. So this is similar to paper mache, I guess, but instead of paper you're using yarn. So I remember as a child there was a magazine I used to get, I believe it was called Bunty, and in there was a craft where you made a piggy bank out of paper mache, and you had a balloon and you made the paper mache around the balloon, popped it, made a little slit in the top for your money, and made a little snout and feet for your piggy bank out of egg box bits. With hindsight, I probably would have done better to make one of those instead of what I'm attempting to make now. It would have been slightly less disastrous. Anyway, back to the project. So I'm mixing my water and PVA glue together to make it into a watery wet solution, and then I'm going to unravel a quantity of yarn and soak it in the solution, again much like you would with paper in paper mache. I did not like this part of the project. I don't like the feel of glue on my hands. Do you remember as a child when you would paint glue on your hands and then peel it off like it was a second skin? Yeah, no, I didn't like that at all. So with the yarn sufficiently soaked in the water glue solution, you just do wrap it around the balloon, evenly space it until the whole balloon is covered. So wrapping the yarn around the balloon in all directions, top to bottom, side to side. So I had a tangle in my yarn and had to cut it. if you do have to cut it and add more yarn, just tuck the stray end under some yarn that's already wrapped around the balloon and start again. Or if you run out of yarn and have to start a new piece. So I think I've said the word yarn too many times now. It's beginning to lose all meaning, so I'm going to start referring to it as wool. So now the wool is wrapped around the balloon sufficiently, leave it to dry for 24 hours. So after the 24-hour drying time has elapsed, you simply pop the balloon, allow it to deflate, and you should be left with a solid cage of wool. So yes, that happened. So let's talk through my yarn crafting with you. The first thing I made was my God's Eye, I believe they're called. I would say this was the most successful of the 3 projects that I tried to do this week. It's colourful, it's quirky, so I'm sure I can find a space for that back here. As for the other 2, well, yeah, let's see. So my God's Eye, and then I was trying to make a heart Pom Pom keyring. Yeah, I don't think I put enough yarn on first of all. I went for an easy pom-pom method, just wrapping it around my hands, rather than, as a kid, we used to cut out 2 circles in cardboard, wrap it around the circles, snip it, wrap the yarn around and make a pom-pom. So for one, I don't think my pom-pom was bushy enough. Brushing it out was a bit of a mission, I would say, and then I tried to cut it into a heart shaped, and that failed miserably, but I've got a cute little pink fluffy pom-pom keyring now to add to my keyring collection. And last, and by all means least, was I tried to make some yarn balls. Now I've seen loads of videos of these on the internet and it looked too easy, but I clearly did something wrong along the way, because yeah, I've just got a ball of sticky, icky yarn with a balloon in the middle, so it didn't quite turn out how I wanted it to turn out. Okay, there's the balloon. I was hoping, in my head I had all the colours of the rainbow and all the different yarn. I was going to string them up and put them in the garden, maybe put some lights inside them, make a nice feature for the garden, but no. I don't think that's happening with this. I could probably reuse this yarn again, to be fair. So yes, that was my my crafting with yarn. I'm going to have a look, because I have my cute big bag of multicoloured yarn to use up, so I'm going to have another look and see if there's any other yarn crafting that I can do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my my video this week. I hope you enjoyed my epic failing this week. If you like what you see, if you like my videos, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell button, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.